What? Okay, I guess what if we don't? And this task force comes up, we don't need a state exchange. We don't know the plan. We don't know the plan yet. Why are we continuing with the state exchange if we don't know if we're going to use it?
In the event you do want to have a state exchange, that's a fair question. If you don't want a state exchange, there's nothing that stops the state from giving notice to the federal government and saying, you know what, we're out. We would prefer to not do this at this time. However, if you want to do a state exchange, we actually got the very last grant, federal grant, that was granted to any state in the union. It was $100 million. So any state from here on out that decides they do want a state exchange for purposes of premium assistance will have to spend state dollars to establish their exchange. So you can use the federal dollars to build it if you want it, and then if you decide later on that you don't want it, you end the program.
But it's state dollars to maintain the program.
After the first year of operation, it does have to be self-sustaining. So that means you can have user fees, you can have an assessment. So it would be self-sustaining after the first year of operation.
Right, you have 3% premium tax.
So right now there's a federal 3.5% premium tax, which has to be allocated across the entire Arkansas market. It can't just be for those folks who are inside the exchange.
Okay, so it's everybody's insurance. So everybody's insurance is going to go 3.5% if it's a federal, if it's 3% if it's a state.
The feds did not cap theirs at 3.5%.
Is Arkansas's cap?
If the legislature wanted to cap it, the legislature could cap it.
But it's not right now. So we could go to 10% if we have to.
There's actually not any assessment right now.
There's none.
Yeah, we're strictly on federal dollars right now.
Right. But we're about, in 2 years, we're not more than that.
At the end, or it's really at the beginning of 2018.
2018. Okay.
That's when we have to be self-sustaining.
And at the present rate, are we on the path of self-sustaining?
Self-sustainability depends on two things. Keeping your costs low and getting sufficient enrollment. Well, frankly, we think that we can get to sufficient enrollment, and the issue regarding the 3.5% on the federal exchange, that we've already been told that is not enough to pay for the operation of the federal exchange, which is why they're going to raise it. We don't know what they're going to raise it to. If you're in the federal exchange, they can put all the bells and whistles they want on that. They can regulate it as heavily as they want. The more you regulate, the higher the cost. The less we are regulated, the lower the cost. The fewer bells and whistles we put on ours, the lower the cost. So we think that, in fact, I'm confident that if this is run by the state actually gets to decide what the outlays are going to be for this, as opposed to just being subject to whatever the federal government says.
And the state also would also put the tax on everybody else's premium too. So that's not in the private option or in the exchange.
That depends on.
They're going to tax my premium cost if it's agreement to the state.
That's up to the legislature.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, think of it as just any business or any kind of insurance office, what you call a tax, a fee, or commission. We're going to have to tack on something to pay for your back end or your back office cost. So, you know.
And different states do it differently. Some of them only apply the assessment to those who are inside the exchange. Some apply it to every kind of policy sold in the state, and it's a very low rate. Some states actually use what used to be the money that they, with which they funded the high-risk pool, to actually fund their exchange now. So really, that really is up to the state legislature.
So the legislature come in and figure out any way possible to fund the state exchange, but they couldn't do it on the federal exchange.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And we have to have an exchange.
Well, Act 1500 created a state exchange.
But we're the legislature. We can get rid of 1500. There is actually something on here.
You can do anything you want.
Right. So what if that goes true, do we need a federal exchange?
You would need a federal, if you don't have a state-based exchange, you have to have a federal exchange.
That we wouldn't fund, but the feds would have to fund.
That you wouldn't fund and you would not control, but you would,
But we only have 48,000.
You would still have to fund it. You wouldn't get to decide how it got funded.